Hey guys, so I just wanted to make this quick tutorial on how to get to iStation. So I'm going to pretend like you don't know how to get to ClassLink or anything. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to roundrockisd.org. Okay, so you can see here that I typed it in. So I did it all one word and then I did .org. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to hit enter. It's going to go to the Round Rock website. I'm going to go down to the bottom here. Not all the way down to the bottom, but just right here. So it has 3 links here. I'm going to click on the white one that says important information to access your student's virtual dashboard. So I'm going to click that. And this is going to give you a lot of important information on how to log into Schoology and all that if you don't understand how to do it. So it says go to ClassLink. Okay, it says go to Schoology, and then you'll be in Schoology. Okay, so it sounds kind of complicated, but it's pretty simple if you just follow these directions. Okay, so I went to roundrockisd.org, and now I went to the white link, and now I'm going to go down here. It says log into ClassLink now, and if you can't do all this, what you can do is you can just go to the Google Classroom that we had originally. The link is going to be there for you to click on, okay? But if you don't have it, or if you can't get into that, you can just go and follow these directions. So I'm going to just go ahead and click on this class. I'm going to put in your S number. Okay, you're going to put in your S number, whatever your S number is. I don't know what your S number is. And then you're just going to put in your password, whatever your password is. But to get in, for me, I'm just going to put in my password. It already has it saved on there. You can save it to your computer if that's easier for you. So I'm just going to click sign in. And it's going to sign in. And then it's going to show you all of your apps. Okay, these are all of the websites that you can access. And now my screen got dim, so my camera's weird. But anyways, so you get to Schoology, which is right here. You can get to it right here. Or you can go to iStation, which is right here, okay? If you to log in again, just try your S number again and your password, but it should automatically take you to your iStation. And at first, it gives you a test just because it doesn't know what level you're starting on, and it's going to give you a reading test. It's going to ask you spelling and different things like that. Hey boys and girls, so to do iStation, there's some expectations that I want you to have, that I want you to know about before you start the test on iStation, which the test is called ISIP, ISIP, okay, and this is in English and in Spanish. I'm gonna ask most people to do it in English, so I wanted to show you guys this video because it's going to show you some of the different things that that the test is going to show you. So I'm just going to go ahead and hit play real quick. And so this is going to be completely on the computer, and it'll give you passages like this, and then you have to fill it in with the correct word. Okay, and this is testing your fluency, so it's testing how fast you're reading. And so what you'll have to do is you'll have to read this. So I'm reading this. I'm saying, Luis tried to push one more sweater into his bag. Mom told him it could get really cold in the mountains, and Luis did not feel like blank. What do you think? What do you think is going to be there? So when you hold your mouse over this part here, it's going to have a bunch of words, and then you're going to pick the right one. I think that the word is like, he did not feel like freezing. He did not feel like freezing. Or maybe yeah, so since he's pushing one more sweater into his bag, he probably doesn't want to freeze. And then I'm just going to continue reading. The 4th grader wanted to have blank of warm clothes for the ski blank. The 4th grader wanted to have lots of warm clothes for the ski trip, okay? So, and it might be hard to think of what word is going to fit in that spot, but what you can do is you put your mouse over the line, and it gives you 3 words to choose from. And one of the words is the best word, so you just pick the best word. So let me just click play here, and it's going to keep going here. So that's so just like they're doing. This one is a Spanish example, and it's really easy. That one back there, all you had to do was click on the sentence that goes with the picture, because it's just checking basic reading skills. Okay. This one is testing vocabulary. As you can see, it's you're shooting with a rocket to asteroids, so it has fun games like that on there too. It's all on the computer, and here you can see that it has little graphs. Okay, this is what it's going to show me. It's going to show me a graph, and when you're taking the test for the first time, it'll show you a bar graph, and it'll show you a bar of how you did. And then every month when you retake the test, it's going to show you the bar for the next month. And hopefully your bar on your bar graph is going to get higher and higher and higher, and the line will show that it's going up. That means that your reading progress is going up. Okay, so that's what you're shooting for when you're taking this assessment. Okay, and it's just to test how much better you're getting at reading. If you're reading every day at home, then your line should be going up. Okay, and if it's not going up, then that means that there's something that we should work on in group time together, and maybe choose some different books for you to read from the library. Okay, so that's just an overview of what the ISIP test is going to be like. Okay. All right, so I just wanted to review. So the ISIP is gonna test a couple things. It's gonna test text fluency, like I told you before, where you have to select the word that fits in there. Remember, you're gonna have to read these paragraphs, and then as you're reading it, you pick the best word. It's gonna test how good you are at spelling. So it's gonna ask you to spell some words, and it's gonna look like this, your screen. Here they're spelling the word moon. As you go more into the test, it's gonna ask you to pick the word that goes with the definition. Here it even has a picture, and it's pointing to something, and then you have to pick the word that goes with it. Here it has a sentence, so as it gets more advanced, it has a whole sentence, and then you have to pick, using context clues, which word fits there. Okay, so remember to try your best on those. And then I think the most important part, but the part of the test that a lot of students need the most improvement on, is when they get to the comprehension section. So they get to a passage, and then maybe they don't read it, they just skip over to the questions, and they just, you don't know the answer to the questions if you didn't read the passage. Okay, so you have to read the passage, and it says that students are not allowed to go back to review the passage. So you get to read it, and then you have to remember as much as you can, and then you answer the questions. A lot of the questions are kind of like, what was the boy's name in the story? Or, what kind of pet did they have? So they're just look back questions. So it's just about remembering what you read in the story. Okay. I think you have to make maybe one or two inferences. But a lot of it is just go back questions. So look back questions. So questions where it's just about remembering details from the story. You might get one passage, you might get two, you might get three, you might get four passages. It just depends on what the test wants to give you. Okay, so just remember those things when you're taking the test. Remember that it's important. It's gonna really tell me how much work we need to do this year, because remember, we're still taking the STAR test this year, and I'm always going to be checking how you're progressing in your reading. Okay, we want to be going up so that when you get to sixth grade, that you're on the right level. One thing I forgot to say was that all of this is timed. Okay, so you only have maybe 30 seconds to do some of these things. So it's not a lot of time. You might think it's going really fast at first, but once you get once you get the hang of it, it'll seem it'll seem to go by faster, and you'll seem to get better at it. Okay, so when you're doing these, you might get halfway through the paragraph and then time runs out, or you might get a couple of paragraphs, and then your time will run out. Okay, so it's just testing your speed on this one. For the spelling, it gives you only a certain amount of time to spell it. If you're kind of a slow typer, then you might want to speed it up a little bit. And if you can only go as fast as you can go. So just do the best that you can. That's what I wanted to tell you guys. Just do the best you can on all of these. And don't get stressed out by the time, because if you get stressed out by the time, then it'll just end up hurting you at the end because you just got stressed out. So don't worry about it. Just do the best that you can, and that's all that I can ask for. Okay, so, but I just wanted to tell you ahead of time, so that way when you start the test, that you're not getting a bunch of wrong answers just because you didn't realize that they were timed. Okay, so when you're doing this, make sure you sit down in a spot where where there's not a lot of loud noises, because it will be talking to you. Like for the spelling words, for example, it's going to say a word and then you're going to have to spell it. It has an ear right here. You have to click the ear to hear it again. So a lot of times you'll be able to hear it again. Okay, so just notice that. Wherever it has a little ear button, or wherever it has a microphone button, you can click there, and it'll help you a little bit on that. So that was just a tip. Okay.